the roughing the passer rule, Drew, that seems to have been reemphasized by the league office to protect quarterbacks, like when you were out there on the field against Atlanta, one happened involving Clay Matthews again that I'm sure you've seen since then. What are your thoughts on the reemphasis that the league has placed on this, and whether you think the league should reconsider it or you think they've got it spot on here?
It's tough. It's tough. Listen, I play quarterback, so I'm a beneficiary of this rule, right? But just as a football player and as a guy who's been around a long time, I'm a little confused by it. You know, I mean, I get the frustration. I think it's hard to play defensive line right now, you know, and knowing how you're going to hit the quarterback or how you're going to tackle the quarterback and what's not going to draw a flag, you know. I like to say that in many cases, just exercise a little bit of common sense, you know, as the league or as an official, you know, when you're officiating. I mean, listen, the officials are in a tough spot because they're trying to take what is the letter of the law and apply that to, you know, what they see and how they call the game. And I don't think it's working, you know. Again, as a quarterback, I'm a beneficiary of this, you know, but I also understand, man, it's hard to play defense right now with the way some of these rules are written. And listen, I still think there's rule changes that need to be made that will continue to improve things. You know, defenseless receivers downfield, so they say you can't hit them in the head anymore. So what are defenders doing? Well, they're hitting them in the knees. Well, that's just as bad, you know, because you're seeing guys get up with these knee injuries and ankle injuries and such because they're getting targeted low because that's where defenders feel like is the only place to hit them, you know. So I think there has to be a rule change with kind of the target zone where you can hit defenseless receivers. You know, I think it's below the neck and and around the waist or thigh bone area. You know, so I don't know. I mean, listen, there's always improvements to be made. It's all in the spirit of making the game safer, right? It's all in the spirit of trying to prevent injuries, but I just think maybe there's a better way to define it, and then obviously a way to call it and judge it on Sundays.
Yeah, I mean, I asked this of Jason Kelsey on Monday's show. Do you think there might be some groundswell of the players to go to the NFL? And I know it sounds strange saying you're protecting us too much, but how about the players going to them? Because you're just the latest quarterback. Alex Smith himself said on Sunday that he thought that the hit should not have been flagged. I mean, what about the players saying something to the NFL en masse that maybe something should be done on that front?
Yeah, they could. I mean, listen, I don't think the NFL's typically pretty slow to react to stuff like that, and obviously it's not a change that can be made mid-season. You know, this is any changes that are made at the end of the season or during the off season. You know, the competition committee goes through that whole process, and then, you know, you give it to the officials. And then the officials spend a couple weeks at NFL training camps and during the preseason games getting a feel and a grasp for how they're going to call it. You know, so there's all this time on task that has to take place. It's not like you just instantly, you know, institute a rule change and then all of a sudden they have to start seeing it differently. You know, things happen so fast out there, but listen, it's tough. I don't think we're going to solve the problem on the phone here, but
yeah, no, that's right.
I definitely think there's room for improvement.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.